where are we at right now? Let's see. We're about to go check out some fencing, some custom fencing that we're building for the walls of the outfield in the stadium, because there's no baseball stadiums in this part of the world. There's none in Pakistan, none in India, none in Dubai except for the Little League field. So we're checking out with David over here to see what we can do. We're also bringing in clay from other parts of the world. We're bringing in netting, all to build a stadium, transform cricket stadiums into baseball stadiums. How you doing? This is Will. I don't think you've met Will.
No, I haven't met Will.
Well, this is David.
All right.
Yeah. That is tall.
Yeah. It's 3 meters.
That's still gonna hurt if you run into it.
What you can do, think about it. I mean, that was the...
Yeah, you probably separate a shoulder.
There will be some sort of give because it's a temporary structure.
That's 3 meters, right?
That is 3 meters, 3 by 3.
And 2.5 would take us down to like right here.
Yeah, something.
And then the comparison between Rajasthan clay and Gujarat clay.
Yeah, I have that.
And then will we be able to get some red sand from here?
Yeah, red sand.
Cool.
In my email, I
So
said
silt.
silt may be an issue because
MLB clay is like 55% clay and like 30%. Well, the one we saw 55% clay, 30% sand, and 15% silt. So 50, 35, 15. 50, 30, yeah. 55, 30, 15. So, so worst case, we won't have silt. So we're taking clay from India and red sand from the Liwa Desert here in the UAE, which is pretty cool.
what we need a 48 millimeter.
Right, so.
No, this is not it. So it's the same style, but the squares are the same what we use for cricket. So this is 120 by 120, and it will be 48 millimeters. So it would be something like that size. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit different material than what they typically have. It's more, what we have is like a little bit more of like almost a mesh.
A mesh.
But I mean, if it
What
works.
we use for is what is used in the cricket stadium for the cricket balls.
Basically first and third baseline, and then behind home
It's
plate.
from basically from backstop all the way around to that.
130 or 127, something like
that. And the same on the other side.
And then the backstop is going to be made out of that as well?
Same as that.
Okay. I'll just be at the very top.
That will be on the top and around the bottom.
Okay.
So you will see the top line. You won't see the bottom line because it'll be on the wall.
Awesome.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you. There's so many little details, man, and so many little things that people don't understand to build this, make this happen. Literally importing dirt from another country and creating netting and building fencing. I mean, it's insane. You take it for granted back home, especially baseball, America's pastime. You walk, every couple hundred feet you see a baseball field, it feels like, but here you drive thousands of miles, you never see one. When you think about everything at once, it gets too overwhelming. It's kind of like if you go for a run and you say, I'm gonna run 10 miles, 5 miles. If you just let yourself think about the whole long run, it's like, oh my God, I gotta run so far. From here to there, that's way too far. What I try to do is like visualize an icon or a symbol or a destination of where I want to go. And then it's just one foot in front of the other. All right, Will, we're gonna have to kick you out before we go to the meeting, because like most places here, they don't allow filming inside, but we're about to go meet with a potential sponsor. One of our first sponsorship meetings here in Dubai for our showcase in February. Sponsorship's a core revenue channel for us. And it's a high level of difficulty because we're trying to sell a experience, an event, and a product, a sport that nobody's ever done here. So hopefully some of these companies will be more innovative and think differently. We're bringing baseball to the region, starting with the showcase in February 23rd to March 5th of next year at Dubai International Stadium.
Yeah.
I'd like to do something.
That's actual?
No, this is a dream.
This is a mock-up,
This
right?
is what we need to do, yeah.
That's sexy. I like
Yeah.
it. You see, immediately it caught my attention, right?
Yeah.
So we can do something very creative with that. I'll share with you all the information. I don't want to give you too much TMI in here. I have the video somewhere. I'll send you all that.
Okay.
But that could be something very nice because this is something which has never been executed in the market.
So great
And
to meet you.
hopefully we'll see each other again.
Yes.
Next time I'll bring my
100%.
honor on board.
That deck is a 4 out of 10 of what we need. We need to do so much more detail on the creative. There needs to be creative here with the little like bullet points here, what you get. Like this thing, and like we need a sponsorship deck, we need an investor deck, we need a consulate deck, we need a diplomacy deck, we need to buy sports council deck. It's got to be different because we keep sharing the same. We need 50 different presentations, and it's a different depending. We need a big company one and we need a startup one for sponsor. You know, so we got to get all our assets together and go settle. That's what you do. You need the deck and the presentation is like your war chest. Yeah. It's all the weapons. You got to get them all and then you go to battle. Without that, like we're going to war with a hammer, dude. I feel lucky and grateful that Ken enabled BSB to be a big part of this journey, because with BSB being our agency of record, I have that comfort and familiarity in the people and trust the work and the quality of the work and the mindset and the culture and the attitude, because this is one thing that I know. In this whole world of unknowns, I know BSB, and BSB is a part of it. It's like my security blanket, you know? You can't open this. This is my damn wrist. Oh my God, how hot is it in there? 110 degrees. Super sticky to my shirt. Ugh. I was trying to be fresh for this 5 o'clock meeting. Yeah, meeting. It's wind at least. No, you know, keep it. Because you gotta let some of the hot air out first. You got like a fucking winter knit on, bro. What you mean? What's on my mind? Gotta pick up Ken at the JW, and then we gotta bust it to Dubai Sports Council for a meeting with the owners. And they're one of the official governing bodies of sport in this city, in this country, the UAE. So it's an important meeting.
How are you? Another day, Greg. Going over to Dubai Sports Council.
I'd like to know what the meeting's about, so I can present a deck. But I'm like, do I want to give the story of baseball? All right, well.
UIBL is a vision to come and bring the sport of baseball to this part of the world. You know, it's an American company. It's an American pastime. It's an American game. You know, but we're in the part of the world where culturally, historically, it's different. You know, America is where all of us came. I came from India. We went to America and we became, let's say Americanized, or we follow traditions and cultures we believe in, which is great. But when you come to Dubai or you come to India, especially in Dubai, these are thousands of old cultures, beliefs people follow. So when you go into somebody's house, you obviously respect the culture. You respect how they think. You respect how you do things. So those are some of the ways that you're able to understand and do things that you have to do. For example, coming out here, culturally, you can't just do things because you want to do it. is a respect involved. Being able to talk to the leadership here, being able to talk to Dubai Sports Council leadership, and say we want to be able to use Dubai as a name in one of our teams.
Our intellectual property is the strategy and process of transforming cricket stadiums into baseball fields, because as you know, there's not many baseball fields in this part of the world, in the Middle East and South Asia. So we're doing everything from importing the clay to building the fences to evolving the foul lines to evolving the seating. So it's an investment that we're putting in, but it's a great prototype and case study for us to now take across Dubai, across the UAE. With the UIBL, this is definitely the most challenging thing I've ever been a part of. And we just got a few great people, passionate people trying to do the unimaginable. And there's so many elements to it that, I'd never experienced. I mean, it's not, when you go to a whole new country in a different part of the world, especially in this part of the world, in the Middle East and Asia, it's not just as simple as starting a business. Like, you have to build relationships, you have to work with government, you have to get approvals with everything and on everything. It's as much politics as it is, entrepreneurship. I'm not really big on small talk, and I like to get to business and decide something and do it. But there's a lot that needs to be done and cultivated, and trust needs to be built, and that's been challenging and a learning experience for me to say, okay, we can't just go do this. We got to do this dance. We got to dance for 6 weeks before we can even ask if we can go do this.
We have to finalize a date. We're hoping to do it within the next 30 days.
Right.
Yeah. And because this is the one big announcement that's going to put us on the map around the world.
On the panel will be His Excellency, yourself, Khalid, Stadium, maybe Consulant, like that one, high level, and everyone speech, we will prepare for them.
And even when Mariano Rivera, Barry Larkin comes, the whole world watches.
Do I want to deal with this? Do I want to play politics? Do I want to have to establish myself again in a whole different part of the world when a company was doing well and is doing well back home? Do I want to take on another challenge? Do I have the energy after 11 years going full throttle to do another 11 years? Because that's what this will take to get to where we really want to take it, at least. But when we come back, I want to come show them a deck, professional of all the stuff we do. Everybody, I understand the relationship conversation, but then you also got to show that you're professional. Because that's one thing that, I can bring that we didn't have before. I can put on a show. I know how to do that. So, in entrepreneurship especially, one day you feel like you're taking over the world. The next day you feel like the world is ending. That is it. You need to have a very, very resilient mindset, and you have to be able to ride the most insane roller coaster of your life with the ups and downs of building something from nothing, And you have one good meeting and you'll just be like, yes, we're going to do it. And then you'll have one bad meeting and you'll question it all. But I think we have to be more clear on what's the objective of the meeting, what are we trying to do. So for this one, I wasn't clear, and I don't need, it's not about, I understand we're building relationships and stuff, and then Ken, you asked for some specific things. They suggested doing the press conference here, which is good. But we have a full marketing plan. We need to come back and present. First thing he asks is, do you have a presentation? So we can share our plan. Most of what they're saying, we're already doing. We just need to share it, right? What I've learned over time, over the last 11 years of building companies now, and building our own companies, is you can't put too much weight on each one of those things. I've seen people change their whole business strategy just because one investor said this can't happen. And I'm like, that's one dude out of 9 billion. Yes, you have to take the feedback, take the inputs. And in the beginning, I didn't take enough when I first started. I was too hard-headed. And over time, I learned to build armor and build a filter to know what type of people and which type of person I take advice from. Who do I listen to? You hear everything, you absorb everything, but you don't necessarily act on everything. And if you guys are talking it separately, then you guys go do it without me. But if I'm going to be in, I need to know what the hell we're doing. I would never bring you guys into a meeting not knowing who's going to be in it, not not knowing what it's about, not knowing what the objective is. That's just not how I do stuff. I need to chill out. I just get too, when doesn't feel right to me in my gut, I express it, but I need to chill out a bit. I need to be able to like process things before I say something. But my gut's always right. It's always been right. I'm just telling you. But the problem is, I'm used to just running my own company, and my own business where we do things a certain way at BSB. And this is actually my company too now at UIBL, and I want to do it the right way, But to be honest with you, part of me doesn't even know why I'm frustrated. It was a great meeting, but I'm just frustrated a little bit. With BSB, the agency, it actually, the reason I created it was because it actually brought together and brings together a lot of my experience and skill set. So God has blessed me with all these opportunities and experiences that made BSB like the perfect role and job for me. So in the beginning, I made the first $4 million of the company by myself. It was just me and a fake email address I called Johnny Sparks. I invented a person to be my assistant, to be my admin that would set up meetings for me. And it would be Johnny at BSB, group, intl.com, or Johnny at B somebody. And they would set up just to make my company look bigger, to be honest with you. And I would always be shocked at how come people didn't know that Johnny Sparks was a fictional character, a cartoon character. But that's how it was. And then we started to grow when we started to add people. But I built it from myself, the ground up. And the reason that's important is I always know now I can go do that. If I needed to go all the way back, if everybody deserted, everybody gave me the finger and got out and said, I don't want to do this anymore, whatever, I could just go back to me and Johnny Sparks, and we're going to be good. Hey. Hi. I'm there. How are you?
Good, and you? Good.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good.
I'm growing out my beard now.
It's okay. Easy. Just shave it.
How's everything going?
Also good.
Good.
And you?
Good. We're doing a whole business out here. Yeah. We're building. We're doing a documentary, and we're building a baseball league out here now. Come on. What do you do? 2019, I swear I came to Singapore.
I met Kash in 2003. So he was, I think, 21 years old and a member of my team in Cincinnati. I've been so impressed with what he's managed to do. I've seen him for the last now 19 years, watched his growth, watched his determination, watched his courage, watched his passion for what he does, the ideas he generates, the people he brings together to make those ideas come to life. It's kind of magic. And I'm so proud of him, so proud of him. So today when he walked into our event, I'm a little sleepy from being up all night with setup of our event. But I looked at him for a minute and I thought I was in some kind of a dream. But then here's my Kash right here in front of me, doing all the huge, amazing stuff that he always dreamed of doing, but then converting it into reality. So I can't wait to see what happens with the UIBL and see where he takes it. This is not an easy gig to move Indians, for example, from cricket to baseball. But if there's somebody who can do that, it's got to be Kash.
We gotta go to Al Mustaqbal Street.
This city is one of the most epic, sexy cities in the world. Everything's bigger than life. It's Vegas on steroids. And I love the vision of this city. I love the potential of this city. But I'm not, you know, turned on by just the money aspect. Or you go down the street, you go down Sheikh Zayed Road and Ferrari here, Lamborghini here, G-Wagon here. You know, that's not as cool to me. You know, I respect it and everybody likes nice things, but that's just not what does it for me personally. And what I've learned, because I was on a path in life where I did well, corporate career, went out to go pro, started being more successful, went out on my own, looked like it was going to be really successful, and then I lost everything. And then I had to claw my way back up. And it was actually and I was probably too superficial in the beginning. When I look back at myself 10 years ago, I was like, man, I was too superficial. I cared too much about certain things. But when I lost everything and I was trying to count how much I spent on a coffee, and I was wearing the same black Be Somebody t-shirt every day, then I started not to care about everything else. I appreciated it, and I still do, and I'm grateful for it, and I still have nice things, you know, that I'm blessed to have worked for and earned, but I don't need them. I'm not attached to them. And that's the thing. People get attached to physical things, superficial things, you know. I was just telling one of my friends, like, I just got a new house in Cincinnati, and I love it. I'm so grateful for it, and you know, design parts of it that I really love, but I don't need it. You know, I really don't need it. I could leave it tomorrow and be okay. And I think that's the thing. People get too attached to either a certain comfort zone, a certain circumstance, a certain level of quality of life, a certain superficial something. And for me, I could live off $20 million a year or $20,000 a year, and figure it out and make it work. This is like the extremes of lifestyle, you know? Extreme wealth and like opulence, and then you got, oh shit. You got poor folks. These are the folks I want to sell tickets for like 5 dirhams, 10 dirhams, you know, bleachers, right behind that fence that we just saw. And have like a rowdy area for all these folks to be able to get in, accessible, you know what I mean? That would be interesting, because I bet you these guys can't afford a ticket to like the Asia Cup. Look how hazy it is today. We're rolling up. Let's see.
Left or our right?
Should be the right. I think. I'm hoping. I think it's here. Right on the same street as the Burj Khalifa. Turning in. Let's see if it's still here. No! It's gone, bro. It's gone.
They painted over.
Oh, it's all great. This is where it was. What's up, brother? What happened to the Be Somebody sign here? Remember the mural here?
Which one?
Remember there was a mural here that said Be Somebody?
No, I'm not sure.
How long have you worked here?
Like 2 months.
Oh, shoot, 2 months, yeah. Dang, they painted over it.
Maybe.
Man. I was coming to see it. We painted it actually a long time ago.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Right there.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
Painted this one.
Shoot. Wow. It's not there anymore, huh? Okay. All right, we'll just make a circle and come around. Thank you. This is the last time I was here, 2018. Obviously, we did it in 2013. Shoot. Hold on. Look, there's the arrow. Be Somebody. Maybe because the wall was all like, getting old. Burj Khalifa brought me back full circle, and we were actually going to build the whole Be Somebody 3.0, 5.0. And then this UIBL opportunity came, so this is the last remaining piece of Be Somebody right here. The original Be Somebody wristband. Blacked out. Matte black. So I'll keep this with me, but one of the original Be Somebody super fans, her name was Kelly Denasia. She messaged me early days when I started writing the blogs and everything, and was a big supporter, always positive on social media. She ended up getting cancer, and when I launched the app, she still had cancer, but she was trying to be a yoga teacher, trying to get back into a better spot health-wise. She ended up passing away a couple years ago, and during the bad times of Be Somebody, I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. We have to shut it down. And she was like, it doesn't matter if you shut it down. It's you. It's within you. And doesn't matter if you've got a product or a business or a website, whatever the hell it is. It's just Be Somebody is in you, and it's how you live and who you are. So she said, just don't worry about it. So I think full circle now. The mural's gone. That was the last standing mural internationally for Be Somebody. There's one still in Austin, Texas. I think we got to go verify, right across the UT campus where I went to school. But that was the last international one that was still riding and remaining. Paris is down, Hong Kong, Singapore, Barcelona, London. Sharati, Tanzania, maybe we have to go there and see it in the middle of nowhere. Sharati, a school we did in Africa, maybe that's there, but this was the main one everyone could come see. And our boy at the security stand didn't know about it, but he just started a couple months ago. I'm gonna email them probably just to find out when it went down. But for me, like we said, maybe it's just a time to close the chapter. Look, they let one graffiti thing stay there.
No, I think that's new.
That one's new, yeah. They added it on top. Yeah, they just did the whole wall gray, probably to make it, look nicer. This is kind of a weird warehouse district, but if you go inside these things, these are all like art companies or galleries. See, that's a gallery. These are all art galleries and stuff. This is an interesting little area. But, oh well. End of a chapter. That was a bigger chapter. That's the end of a book right here. Beginning of a new book. Be Somebody. At least they didn't have Mark Cuban's face on there.